Hey, Digger Bob here again. And we're out here in the wilds of northern Nevada doing some nugget hunting. These are some of the gold fields. And I just want to do a quick little video to give you folks a few more little tips and instructions on the Whites TDI SL. First of all, I want to show you how it responds to hot rocks and how you can eliminate them. And then we're going to do a little bit on the sensitivity to small gold. So first of all, I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to turn the ground balance off. Everything else is set. Conductivity is on all. Pulse is at 10. Okay, here we have some serpentine. Hardly any response at all, even with the ground balance off. Serpentine sometimes will, sometimes won't, depending on where you are. But this is very bad stuff. It's magnetic. Very hot stuff. Here's another one. This is one of those nasty black and red conglomerate type rocks that you typically find in the hydraulic pits. Nice, beautiful signal. Sounds just like a nugget. If there were a nugget in here, you'd have to break it up. But I can show you how you know that. Lastly, we have a piece of basalt. This is a lava type basalt rock. This is the most common type of hot rock that you're going to encounter out here. Nice signal, just like a nugget. Now I'm going to turn the ground balance on, turn it up to about 8. Serpentine, you don't hear it at all. Before you heard just a little bit of a signal. Here's this nasty black rock. Gone. Nothing. That's your basalt. This is one of the few hot rocks that you're probably going to encounter. Lava type basalt hot rocks will respond to the TDI even with the ground balance on. There are some others out there, but this is the most common type that you're going to encounter. I'm going to show you how to eliminate this. Very quickly and easily, you simply turn the pulse delay up just a little bit. Turn it up to about 12. Still getting a little bit of a signal. Turned up just a little bit more. And it's gone. Okay? But you'll still hear the gold, the small gold, but the signal is going to be diminished. So you want to be very careful about using this. Okay. If you turn the pulse up too much, you're going to hear it, but it's going to be the different sound. It's going to be the down sound. Okay? So, alright, now I want to show you, put the pulse back down to 10. There's been a lot of nonsense talk on the internet about how it doesn't respond to small gold. I did this in the first video. I'm going to do it again just real quickly. This is a 1 grain nugget. Not a gram, it's a grain. Alright? So listen very closely. Bring the camera in a little closer. I'm going to show you that it does respond to small gold like this. Now just watch and listen. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh no, Digger Bob was wrong. The internet experts were right. It doesn't respond to small gold. Oh crap. Well, those of you who are real experts, those of you who are actually experienced finding gold, instantly realize what I did wrong. And I can sum it up in 2 words. Sweep speed. You have to move slowly. Can you hear that? Of course you can't. Go too fast, you're not going to hear it. When you're patch hunting, when you're working bedrock, when you're working the surf line at a beach, you have to move slowly. You can't move this slow when you're out hunting wide open spaces like this. But if you really want to find the small stuff, you will. This is a 2.5 grain nugget. I want to show you a little bit of difference in this one. This 2.5 grain, okay? Nice response. The thing you have to remember about nuggets, though, is that nuggets are like fingerprints. No two are exactly alike. Here's a 2-grain nugget. Here's a 1-grain nugget. Notice how much bigger the 2-grain nugget is than the 1-grain. Okay? I'm going to put the 2-grain nugget across the loop. What do you hear? Nothing. That's because the only thing you're comparing here is the weight. This one is flat. This one has some thickness to it. If all you're doing is comparing the weight, you're not comparing apples to apples. There are sizes, there are shapes, there is thickness, and there is naturally occurring conductivity. All gold is naturally, naturally alloyed with different metals, silver, copper, even iron. All those natural alloys can affect how a nugget responds. So not all gold is the same. It's going to react differently depending on size, shape, and alloy. Okay? All right. Oh yeah, one more. Here's a nice big nugget. See how big that is? What do you hear? Hardly anything. Just a bare whisper of a signal. A nugget that big should give you a screaming response, but it doesn't. Why? Because it's an invisible nugget. These nuggets are very rare, but the reason it doesn't respond is because it's very porous. You can actually see daylight through it. It's very rough, it's very angular. The pulse doesn't reflect off of it. For lack of a better term, it tends to wrap around it and keep going. Okay? So you just have to be aware of some of these things, some of these differences that are out there in the field. Here's a piece of iron. Great big old square nail. Listen to the different responses depending on how the orientation is of the target to the loop. Okay, that's head on. This way, sounds like a good target. This way. So you can help determine whether the target's a good target or not simply by moving 90 degrees. Good sound, bad sound. Okay? Okay, those are the main points that I wanted to cover. I wanted to show you now a little bit on how to properly ground balance this machine. There are do's and don'ts. Again, there's been a lot of nonsense on the internet about the machine having quirks and this, that, and the other thing. It's nonsense. Watch. I'm going to put the ground balance at 6, gain at 10, pulse at 10, threshold up, conductivity at all. I'm going to lower the loop to the ground and listen what happens. Okay? You're getting that high sound. You simply turn the ground balance up and it's balanced. A monkey could do that. It's so easy. You turned up too much, then you're going to get that down sound, okay? Not quite. There. Again, there's been some talk about the TDI having a little quirk. Well, it's a defect. You get this bounce back, boing, chirp. Well, you don't, as you can see, okay? You do get that sometimes in the right kind of mineralized ground. You do that in serpentine, there's no chirp. You get it in hot red clay, and yes, there's a little bit of a back bounce when you bring the loop back up off the ground. It's not a defect, it's just a quirk of the machine. It does not affect the performance at all. Okay? So, to sum it up, it's simple. It really is. One last thing. If you are soliciting advice from someone, if you are taking advice, if you're given advice, you have to take into context that person's experience, okay? 30 plus years of detecting versus a year or two of detecting. One of the first questions you should ask that person is, okay, show me the gold. If your technique is good, if your advice is good, then show me what you found. Back it up, okay? Here's mine. I'll show you mine, show me yours. Here's some of my TDI gold so far. Back up your words with actions. Okay, let's go hunting. Let's go find some more. See you later.